Hey everyone, welcome back to Jones and Gems. I hope you're enjoying the series so far. Remember, if you do want your questions answered, to put them in the comments below or type in the Hey Rob Mod section of our Discord, and we will put your question down and hopefully get to it in the future. Let us begin the second episode of Jones and Gems. Question. This guy's got a lisp. He says, hey Rob Mods, what is more efficient to craft, tier 9 enchants or tier 7 enchants, considering maybe a low, early, mid-game player? Often the components and the rune stones for making tier 9s are very expensive. So if we look at this right now, this is what I'm doing right now in the game. I just have a bunch of tier 9 enchants. I've been crafting them a ton and just seeing how quickly I can make gold or make gems. Let's go to market and check some of this stuff out, okay? So tier 9 enchants are generally going to sell for 700 to 750k. So here we are, the lowest one is 690, which is on the really low end, and often you'll see these up at 750 or higher. If we go to the stones that are needed for this, we're sitting at 470k. These normally are around 500k to buy. If you look at all the components that I need to craft these, normally we need between 1 and 3 components. Generally, these components are sitting around average of 100k. You're sitting at 500k for one of these, average of 2 components per craft. It's costing you essentially 700k to craft one of these, and it's worth 700k. If you're selling it in the market, minus taxes, you're only getting 630k back. So if you do a normal craft of these, no multi-craft, no rarity, you're essentially losing gold. If we go to tier 7 enchants, on the other hand, we're looking at one of the medium moonstones instead, but it looks like we're sitting at 4 or 5 of these types. Let's say 5 on average. You're going to be looking around 60k probably for components. Even if you're not getting multi-craft, you're not getting rarities or anything like that, tier 7 enchants are going to be very profitable regardless. If we also look at tier 7 enchants, green, if you do craft any greens, people are going to be paying upwards of 3 to 400 or more thousand for these. So that is a lot more profit. It costs you 100k. You make a green and you're making 400k profit instead. So in the end, I would say that tier 9 enchants are going to be less profitable if you don't have multi-craft and rarity chance. If you're a mid-game player and you're wanting to make profit and you're willing to put it on tier 7 or above items to get the full profit and surcharging that in your shop, I think that's much better of an option for you. Brandan Tan says, when you subscribe to the Royal Merchant, do you get the Royal Crown already, or must you wait for a month to redeem? So as soon as you pay for the month, you get the reward. So this means that I am in my 8th month. So I've paid for 8 months and I'm 7.5 months essentially into Royal Merchant. And so the moment that it runs out and I pay for my 9th month, I'm not to the end of my 9th month, but my 9th month has started, I'll get this 40% gold repair discount. Ryan Meow T says he is getting a new iPhone. He's been playing Shop Titans and he wants to make sure that his data gets converted over. So let me show you how that works as I take this 47 million gold. Thank you very much, Mr. King. So if you go down here to settings in the menu, you go Shop Titans ID. You can do an ID from this device, ID to this device. So all you need is to press this ID from this device, then it'll give you a code. Then on your new iPhone, you just click the ID to this device once you start your new account, and it'll just automatically transfer your data, link your new iPhone, and you're good to go to play on your account. The other thing that I would just make sure, just in case, is that you have your name and number, so robmods47536 handy, and then if you are having any issues, just submit that and say, hey, I'm wanting this account on my phone, I'm having issues, and normally they're really good to get back to you pretty much immediately. I've never taken more than a day for people to get back to me in terms of submitting a support ticket, so you shouldn't have any issues. I have transferred ID before and not had any issues with doing so. The most mysterious name of all, YouTube user, which you are all YouTube users, so this is a question from all of you. He said, hi Rob, I was trying to find where it was mentioned but couldn't. Do you have a recommended list of tiers for energy levels? I don't think I've put together a specific list of here's what you should do, here's the exact tier for this exact amount of energy. I don't think I've actually done that before, but I've generally just said 30% of your total energy. So when you small talk, you get 10% of your total energy pool minus current energy. That number times 10% is what you'll get if it's a successful small talk. If not, if it backfires, you lose 7% of your total energy. So what that means basically is that if you are at exactly 30% 7% of your energy pool. If you have a success, you'll go up by 7%. If you have a failure, you'll go down by 7%. So essentially 30% of your energy pool is the break-even point between a success and a failed small talk. Of course, you can discount items to get higher than your 30%, but basically as soon as you start discounting items or you're needing to use multiple items to surcharge, then you're going to start to lose gold. So as I've said many times, you need to make sure that you have these 3 item types: iron arm guards, leather armor, and shirts. All 3 of these cover every single hero type, so no matter what, I can small talk and I will always have a tier 1 to suggest, discount, sell, and then I can get a free 300 energy that doesn't cost me anything. I would try not to sell things that are more than 30% of your total energy. So maybe you have 2 successful small talks, 1 decent discount that'll give you 10% of total energy, and then a surcharge of 30%. Hope that makes sense. Sorry I don't have a specific list, but that's my opinion. Goss Caught Ego says, "Hey Rob Mods, my 7-year-old niece was reading about eating boogers in a book about different parts of your body. Hence, you have baby Titan. I was wondering if you sucked any out of his little nose yet. It's Friday and the world wants to know how you father." Well, it is not Friday now, but we have like this little nose sucker thing. Like you squeeze it and then you put it in there and then it sucks. You know what I'm talking about? And it works okay. It's not super effective, but it's all right. My sister has this one where you stick it in the nose and then there's like this ball in the middle and then you put your mouth on the other end and you actually like suck with your own air, and then the boogers like get stuck in the ball in the middle and then you wash it. It is disgusting. Like that's the same as just putting your mouth on there and ugh, nasty. Not gonna happen. Random question. Great question though. Oh, GameStop. This guy's rich. He says, "Hey Rob, how do you keep your shop stocked on the downtime from Tower of Titans to Lost City of Gold? If I'm playing a lot after Tower of Titans, I'll see out of my gear I got from Polonia runs." I'm assuming run out of the gear he got from Polonia runs a few days after the event. I hear you, man. And I'm kind of in the same boat where right now I'm max inventory, but if I focus and sell, I'll be through all this stuff in a couple of days, and that we may not have another major event for a while once Tower of Titans is done. So here's my recommendations. You've kind of got 2 options, okay? One is go to the market and find things that are profitable. You can probably buy, let's say, tier 9 items. Like this, for example, you can surcharge it for 700k or more depending on your ascensions, and you're making, 200 plus k profit. So buying items from market and reselling them is probably going to be your best bet. The other thing that you could do is real life things. You could go visit your grandma in the home and spend some time with her. You could go grocery shopping. You could learn a hobby. You could read a book. Go have a bath. Start a business. Go to the gym and work out. Learn to cook really well. You could spend more time with your kids. You could go on some dates. Huh? That's what I'm talking about. There are many things that you can do in life when you've run out of items to sell in Shop Titans. Just a thought. This last question is from Professor Moriarty, one of my favorite Holmes characters, and he asks, "Can we have a PvP function soon? Any plan at all?" I think this is a phenomenal question. I think we should be able to raid other guilds' towns in the night and burn down their shops to force them to rebuild, while simultaneously increasing customers in our own shop due to less shopping options. Eventually, we could have a monopoly on the hero gear market, jack up prices, and become obscenely rich and buy out others' property, forcing them out of business. I think after this, we could then overthrow King Reinhold, take over the whole place, and we can just own everything. I really do think that this is the only viable PvP situation in this game. If you think differently, let me know, but I think this makes a lot of sense. Thank you for watching episode 2 of Jones and Gems, and I will catch you all next time. See ya. You could read a book, go have a bath, start a business. Do something.
Make sure you like the video and subscribe and comment. It helps me with the algorithm.
Wow, that's random. Why is that? Okay, someone just subscribed in the middle of my recording. Okay.